Hey guys, Bailey here to give you your November outlook of the local real estate market here in Santa Cruz County. It's been an interesting market to say the least, so let's dive into some data. Countywide, we're seeing some pretty steady numbers. 170 homes closed out the month of October, which is honestly exactly on par with the year before. But it's a pretty decent jump from September, where 124 homes sold that month. Median sales price is hovering still around 1.15 million, so it's not cheap to buy a home in Santa Cruz County. But I want to point out how different the data is area to area, and it's actually more important to look at that than just a county-wide level. In Boulder Creek specifically, I think this is a really good area to use as an example because we're really seeing some interesting trends here. There's not nearly as many homes sold, only 11 homes sold in Boulder Creek this last month. But the reason that's so important is because I think a lot of people tend to forget that when the data seems so drastic and crazy, you really need to pay attention to how many homes have sold in that particular area that data is showing. Because in an area like Boulder Creek, when you only have 11 homes for sale, if those sales price points are so sporadically different, it's really going to sway the data one way or another. And I think that's a really good example of what we're seeing right now here in Boulder Creek. Recent data shows that the average time a home in Boulder Creek sits on the market is way over double what it was this time last year. And this time last year had much higher interest rates than we have now. Now, there was a lot of people that were sitting it out to see what happens at the election, and now that's done. So hopefully those buyers come back in and we see an increase in buying demand locally. We could really use it. But even though homes are sitting way longer on the market now and less are selling, our sales prices are still higher than they were last year. So the values of these properties are holding even though they're sitting on the market longer. But again, I think we need to remember that influence of that average sales price month over month, again, varies widely with the type of home that is sold. So of those 11 homes that sold last month, less of those were fixer-uppers than a couple months before. So we see that increase in the sales price. If you're following this data, if you know you want to sell your home eventually or you want to buy a home eventually, understand that the amount of homes that sell each month is just as important, if not more important, than the sales price and how long they took to sell. And a lot of people forget about that. So at the end of the day, what this basically is saying is whether you're buying or selling, the real estate market has not tanked. It's not a bubble that has burst. It does require patience because, I've said this a couple months ago, but we're heading into a market that closely reflects the pre-COVID era. But at the end of the day, the local market is active, the prices are steady, but we are entering winter as well. So I think it's a normal expectation at this point locally in Santa Cruz County that if you are looking to sell a home, the activity is going to be slower right now. But let's see where that takes us as we head through the winter and a new administration change in politics, because that will impact the housing market at the end of the day. So I'll be right here with you watching the data. I really appreciate you guys tagging along and trusting me as your local realtor, here to give you all the juicy details on everything you need to know. And of course, if you want to learn more about Santa Cruz County and the local real estate market here, follow my channel because I got a ton of videos for you to check out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next month.